Yo, it's your brother Yafeuh Balogun back at you yet again with another trill conversation. I got the comrade Erick Khafre on the line with us, and we're here to have a real conversation. Um, Today, I think is the first day of Kwanzaa. And if you're familiar with Kwanzaa, you may or may not be, but today is the first day, and I think Kwanzaa goes 7 days all the way I think January 1st. Basically, I think that's how long Kwanzaa is. But I know it's 7 days, and along the lines of lighting candles and all that sort of kind of thing. And it's supposed each day is supposed to represent a certain quality, if you will, that a person's supposed to have. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about GMF's influence on George Jackson. That's really like a history lesson. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about the base and the core of what Kwanzaa is about. And I think it was heavily influenced by the continent, and I think specifically Tanzania. And if you don't know what Tanzania is, I'll make sure to pull it up so we can, have some facts about Tanzania go across our screen. But without further ado, I do want to ask you, uh, Erick Khafre, Chairman Erick, uh, when did you first hear about Kwanzaa, if I may ask? Like, was it as a kid or was it as an adult? When did you first hear about Kwanzaa?
Man, it seemed like as a kid, I didn't hear about shit, man. It must be me in that little ghetto box, man. I ain't hear about a day up there. But I probably like 18 or something like that. But I didn't get into the what it supposedly really represented to early 20s. What's that? No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, right on, right on. No, I got some information just came through. I apologize. So you say you
Oh, I
heard
thought you
about
were talking. Yeah.
no, no, no. You say you heard about Kwanzaa when you was a kid. You said you was 18 years old. You that's when you ran across it, right?
Yeah, I probably the very first time I can, if the old folks say recollect.
Right, right, right. So
Yeah.
so I want everybody to know. Me and Eric go way back to what 2001.
Yeah.
2000, 2001, somewhere in there. Miss Brown computer class, and I got a chance to know his family uh, really well, and he got a chance to know mine really well. So we go way back. When you first heard about Kwanzaa, what did you think about it in terms of the celebration aspect? For us, a lot of folks think it's an alternative to Christmas. Do
hmm
you agree with that?
Yes and no. How I took it at the beginning is that, and I embraced it at first because I looked at it at that time, late teenage, early 20s, is that it was a something that African people could use to celebrate, that it could be an alternative to European holidays, based off African principles coming from the continent and using them during this 7 days. You don't go out and buy gifts from the corporations or whatever. You actually make a gift, or you give a unique gift to somebody that you feel is worthy of having it. And so I looked at it as a replacement. It's something that you could use if you wasn't into the Christmas thing. When you young and coming into cousins, you looking for something to replace then which you found out was a lie or found out wasn't. it wasn't necessarily ours. Which people have fun around the time of year. I'm with it. I don't care. I'm not on that no more. People do. Hey man, people would have some excitement and fun with it. Whatever. But as far as the European principles of it, in which they get the Santa Claus and all this shit coming down chimneys and presents and bowing under a tree and all this stuff. It's uh, within that context, it was something that didn't come from us. And so Kwanzaa, I looked at it when I was younger as Kwanzaa being an alternative to that.
Gotcha. What was I gonna say? The, 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 um, that's so the founder of Kwanzaa, the one that's credited with founding Kwanzaa. I asked you the same question I sort of asked Eda Ref. I did an interview with Eda Ref a couple days ago, and I was kind of getting his perspective on it. Now, Eda Ref is actually in Oakland, California, so he close kind of to Los Angeles, so to speak, or very close to Los Angeles to kind of have that discussion historically.
He in
Uh,
Oakland? He the ref in Oakland?
Eda Ref in Oakland, yeah. He
Oh,
wait, you know,
he close to California then.
he
But
you know,
I got he about
he,
6, 7 hours away, maybe. Give or
well, I
take.
mean, he closer than where we from.
I
Let's just
know,
put it
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know,
Yeah,
yeah. You said he right up in there, and I think he was there at one point. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's in Northern California. He's a writer
yeah,
for the
yeah.
San Francisco Bayview.
Right.
Um, through the graces of Minister of Information J.R. Valray.
Oh, okay.
He put him on.
Oh,
I was asking him same kind of question I asked him. What did you? So I assume you did a little bit of research on Kwanzaa, or at least the foundation of Kwanzaa,
mm,
and you probably ran across some things, some historical things about Ron Karenga. Uh,
mm,
some people kind of take the good with the bad. Some people dismiss the whole thing,
yeah.
and some people just don't know the history
Right, right,
between
right.
the. Uh, I think what we refer to as the U.S. slaves, but I think Zahir was on here and he corrected me on that. He said it was never called the U.S. slaves. I had to research that, but he corrected me on that. Um, but uh, what do you think about Ron Karenga or Malana Karenga as he's known today?
No, we're Ron Everett.
Okay,
But
yeah, Ron Everett, yeah,
I
correct.
don't. I disagree with me and exalting themselves as some kind of giving themselves some kind of high and mighty name. I know we all got names that are significant, and so but he was on here yet the other day when we was on. He had me what Khafre meant, and that sounds pretty high and mighty as far as what it the transition aspect of Khafre meaning the form of God or whatever. Uh, but still, it's not a self-exalting title. It's a level you get to. It's really just the name I chose when I was in my late teens coming into Kansas. I just kept the name, and it ended up being meaning something is in the transition. But I do try to live up to that name every day. But Ron Everett or Ron Karenga is he's called. What was the question you asked? Shit, I got I'm talking about these
What
names. What you said? What I think of them?
yeah. As far as the history on him, as far as the history, I know some people got contradictions with him as far as what
Yeah,
happened
with
with.
the Black Panthers lost out on UCLA campus. John Higgins, two prominent, strong young revolutionary leaders. John Huggins and Al Prentice, Bunchy Carter. Two young, very influential. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Cherry Fred Senior and Huey and Bobby and them all the time, but really, man, Al Prentice, Bunchy Carter, John Huggins was those guys. You know what I'm saying? They put in a lot of work, man. They raised the level of consciousness, in the streets from a criminal mentality revolution. They made people in the streets get politically educated. You know what I'm saying? Thousands of people. That's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Try resurrect the minds of the street organizations who have a self-hatred aspect is part of their group. You know what I'm saying? And they practicing this shit. Even though at that time it wasn't quite to the level it was in the 80s and 90s, what have you. But still, it was getting to that point, and for him to have liberated his mind and to bring people over to say, look, this is what we're doing. And this what we gonna represent. We gonna represent it strong. So Al Pretty, Butcher Carter and John Huggins, they did that, and it wasn't this deal. I mean, it was the sister Erica Huggins and all those other, sisters who was a part of that chapter. Man, they held it down, But I mean, yeah, people, rightfully so with the UCLA situation. As far as it's never a good thing when you're looking at an organization meeting up with another organization saying we want to do a democratic thing where we letting the students say which politic they want to deal with the most, and we gonna set up shop on that way. However, the group that was the victim in this, they continued all the way to they disbanded in 1982. They, they continued the, to move how they platform said they need to move. You know what I'm saying? Revolutionary politics in the black community and raising the level of consciousness of people and serving them with, survival programs, pending revolution. And so you talking about a group that's continuing this, and then this other group, what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the continuation of that? At least if you're gonna have a tragic situation go on, you want to see both groups growing in certain ways. You see just one group growing, then you see this other group just okay, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? And so then all of a sudden in 1966, you got a black holiday or what have you that comes about. And you got some feds involvement in that, as far as, strategically placing, strategically organizing Kwanzaa as this alternative, to spy, on other organizations and the masses, to bring them together under Karenga's organizations and to tap into what the masses was thinking, right, and what they wanted, and to kind of watch people, right. So you using your organization become a satellite of the FBI, and you never denounced it, you never denounced this thing, which of course, with his prison record, he can't denounce that torture and the brutality of and a sexual assault of some black women. He did 5 years for that. And so you can't deny that. You did the time. You never said it. Never had written remorse for that. You never said this is that, the third. You basically just, left it as is. Like, yeah, this happened. I did it. What? You know what I'm saying? And so, then later on you saying a white man taking over your holiday, but history showed that it was a collaboration, right? It's a collaboration. Because if you wanted to denounce that the state took your project and made it theirs, you would be denouncing that shit every chance you get. I mean, that's my opinion. What you think? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you think of somebody trying to highlight Black August and make that shit some damn alternative holiday. We be
Right.
talking about not only us, it'll be all kind of people talking about this shit every damn day, every year. We'll be talking about, hey, Black August is this, Black August is that. You know what I'm saying? We would be sitting back like, oh yeah, I'm the founder and the white man took my idea and you say that shit once every fucking blue moon. What is the real thing? This must be a collaboration between the two. You see? So that's how I look at it. And that's what it's saying, history is recorded. That's what it is.
So I'm just reading here where it says here, the group published the Us magazine, which means us black people,
Yeah.
versus apparently United Slaves was a derogatory term.
Oh, they used to describe them. Yeah.
Yeah. But I always thought that uh, United Slaves was more their official name, but that
Yeah.
never that never made sense though to
It
me.
didn't.
Probably,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it
yeah,
didn't. Yeah, you're right about
yeah,
that.
yeah. And it looks like Hakeem Jamal, cousin of Malcolm X, was a part of it. Um, mm, yeah, so that's interesting. about it. And I kind of I talked to Zahir about it. He was on here
Yeah,
talking about it. And Zahir is kind of in favor, very much so, in favor of Kwanzaa as a practice, and
yeah,
he puts on a defense, if you will, of
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, yeah. If you listen to the previous episode that we did where he was
right,
last on, he did a defense of Kwanzaa, more or less.
right.
And I kind of listened to his position, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was interesting. But he kind of has a defense of Kwanzaa, and it was funny because today he was on his social media. He always posts somebody had commented under, and he said, here they go, Yafeuh, they
Yeah,
ready."
yeah, 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 yeah. That's funny.
So to say that he was ready for some negative or derogatory information to
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
come
yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I just as I stated before, um, I think that, and I could just say from my perspective, I think that the party members here in Dallas, for the most part, kind of followed Huey P. Newton's perspective, as far
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right.
social, what's that, the survival pending programs position.
Yeah.
Um, that's one thing that I will say about the original Black Panther
Mm-hmm.
Party. And just keep in mind, when we say Panthers on this platform program, for the most part, we're talking about 99.9% of the time we're gonna be talking about the original Black Panther Party. So we just may say Panthers, but we're talking about the original Black Panther Party, not necessarily any of the new formations that have come about here in this generation. So I just want to kind of state that for those that may listen in the future, so there's no confusion on that. Um, so you an adult now. Have you ever participated in Kwanzaa, like any of the celebrations? Went to any meetings or uh, anything like that?
Yeah, at one point I did an organization I was a part of that had that as the practice and
When?
you
What
know,
what organization
Community for Black Liberation.
is that?
We
Brother.
had the Saturday school with the youth and stuff like that.
Was that the tree? What's that? Correct me because I know I'm using the wrong.
Oh, that was a youth program. Yeah, the Doggone Family Tree.
Yeah, brother
Yeah, yeah,
Gary.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
E and all
with
of them.
brother Gary, brother Gary,
Mm-hmm.
and the sisters. I forget the sister's name.
Oh, Lynn, yeah, Lynn was a part.
Who
Lynn.
No, I ain't talking about Lynn. I was talking about the dark skinned sister. What's her?
Oh, no, she wasn't part of it. Tisha.
Yeah, she wasn't part of it.
No, 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 no. I mean, she was like, she was. That's when she was over reciprocity. She was doing. We was had an understanding of meeting. Us meeting at the facility. You know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
helping her keep that facility up. And she was managing that, and her son was a part of the program. Which I see him from time to time, and he's doing good. He's doing good. Him and her niece, and it was part of the program, and I try to build with them when I see them.
Hmm.
And check, see how life treat them and where they headed, things of that nature. But yeah, but she
Right,
wasn't an official member, but she supported through us helping her keep the place open. But there was a hotbed one time
right.
in Dallas. People used to love that spot. We did the Saturday school or whatever in the meeting.
Got you. And so reciprocity now is closed. No, I assume it sounds like. Is that right?
Yeah, it's been closed for a while.
Been closed for a while. Okay, okay. I just remember kind of, me kind of knowing a little bit about it. I knew Gary, knew Lynn, but that's all I knew. And I knew of the lady you just speaking in reference to. I didn't really know her too much or any kids. I just remember Doggone Family Tree, which I thought was a good thing. But me, just for us a little bit about me. I a lot of times in those days, we talking about the early 2000s, y'all. We talking about the early 2000s. I really just kind of opposed like anything really got to do with culture when Kente, help me out, Eric. You know what I'm talking about? Any of the dancing, any of the drumming.
Yeah, right. You was at, yeah, you was one of them back then.
Yeah, I was opposed to all that. So once I saw that, uh, I didn't really, if I saw anything like that, which I kind of identified, and maybe very immaturely, I should say, I kind of identified as like culture nationalism. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I thought about culture nationalism, I thought of that, but I also thought of this particular organization, U.S. slaves or U.S. organization. Excuse me, let me correct myself because I'm sure there were some proper members within the organization. So I don't want to say anything derogatory. The US organization. I
Mm-hmm.
I I took anything with culture, drums, anything like that, dance. It's automatically like us organization.
Yeah,
And if
yeah, yeah.
y'all remember the movie Black Panther, I almost want to show it. Let me
The
see here.
'95 Black Panther with Chris Tug and
Let me see
and,
here.
and Mario Van Peebles and all those guys.
Let me see
Courtney
here, man.
Vance.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I want to see something real quick, man.
Oh, I know what you want to show.
Yeah, let me see something here.
They influenced you, the Mojo Brothers on Black Panther
Yeah.
'95.
I'm just gonna put what you said. Let me see what happened. Uh, 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 uh. Let me see, man. Is he? Let me see what pop up here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I don't see
Okay,
nothing on it, but the
okay, okay. Let me do this here. Let me see. Let me do it again. Hold on one second. Share screen. I just want when I saw the Black Panther Party, this is what I thought about right here. Can you see my screen, right?
yeah, yeah. We
Okay,
see
I'm a
Denzel getting beat up.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna play this real quick, but I really
Yeah.
want to show when Huey P. Newton them was coming out the
Oh, you gotta show the Betty Shabazz scene, but yeah,
let me see if let me see if I can get that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that.
it's on there, ain't it? That's an hour long. How
Yeah.
long? That wasn't the whole
Let me
thing.
see here. No, it wasn't the whole thing.
Oh,
Let me see. Let me see. Betty
Shabazz scene.
Shabazz. Yeah, I probably should have
It's,
put scene. Okay, there. It probably right here. Yeah, here it is right here. You sure right, boy. That boy know his stuff, don't he? Let me see. Can you hear it?
yeah.
Okay.
What would you tell young brothers and sisters to do in following Brother Malcolm's footsteps?
Well, I would say that Malcolm lives in each of us, and that we must all work together for the community, like those brothers out there are doing.
Well, Sister Shabazz, we wanted to thank you, and we are definitely honored that you have chosen San Francisco for your first public appearance since the martyrdom of Malcolm. Sister, do you feel the fervor of the movement was lost with the death of Malcolm?
No, the thirst for freedom was by no means extinguished with the murder of my husband. The desire for liberty is manifested daily in
Hey,
the struggle.
police is pulling up outside.
Just look around.
All in.
Go, little Bobby. I can't get caught. See?
Brother Huey, no pictures, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm not going. You go down there if you want to.
Put that gun away. Gun away. Guy, you going to jail? No. Hey, Dan, cool it.
Yeah.
There she is. Mr. Bond, do you fear for your life? Fear for your life? No pictures today. Back up. Mr. Bond, through. Who shot Mel? You think the FBI was involved? What's the plot?
Back up. Back.
Excuse me, you think Farrakhan was involved?
Back up.
Look, you're blocking a path. Back up.
Get back. Get away from me.
Sir, please. Last time, you back up. Move out of my way. I just want to ask a question. Mr. Bonds.
And so,
Shit, it ain't show the, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll show the part where they addressed him about the guns.
yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't show that part with the confrontation with them, but you can see where the brother, he noticed there was an issue with that weapon, and I think that in reality, those were the members of the Northern uh, Black Panther Party, because different
Yeah,
people had took that name of Black Panther at the time. Those are
right, right.
they're referencing, but for me, that always represented uh, U.S. organization or the US organization, I should say. They
Right.
represent the US organization, and from that moment on, I was lost on the US organization, like really, personally. Like from that moment on, I was
Yeah,
lost. I was lost
yeah.
in the US. They whole platform was lost. It didn't help with that scene there, um, but anyway, so nevertheless, we got Kwanzaa today, and I know that part of the contradiction I think of Kwanzaa that it's just so heavily marketed, and it's like it becomes a source of income for the for America, so to speak. And I think is that one of your contradictions that you see with Kwanzaa?
And then what
Uh,
now?
as far as it folks making money off of it. It's not as grassroots as it used to be, or what the
Yeah.
intent or the I think the intention of it. What now? You did bring up a point about Tanzania. What part did Tanzania play in the kind of creation of Kwanzaa, in your opinion?
Before I do that, I gotta go off on my little tangent. I mean, my
Go
little
ahead.
not tangent, my little off the, I was gonna say so while you were showing that, but
Go ahead.
my little side thing. Man, you know, a lot of elders don't like that Black Panther movie. Rightfully so. They don't like any of them, to be quite honest. They don't like Black August or any of them. And Judas and the Black Messiah, you know, the one Chairman Fred Jr. Had a slight hand in. They, you know, they 50-50 on that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Some of them. But that just part, what made me say this, that part where he was flipping the gun and being all loose with the gun, weapon and stuff is that made me think about I say, man, I see why they don't like these goddamn movies. And I'm a movie guy, you know what I'm saying? I got some little scripts written, and I have aspirations to maybe get involved in an independent film one day, you know. Maybe not, but I support a handful of them. But that made me think about Mark Clark. I don't know if you remember on Judas and the Black Messiah. Man, that is one thing I didn't like about Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, there's some other contradictions in there too, the way they represented Conrad Jake. But it was the way they had, not Bunchy, the way they had Mark Clark looking, man, that shit just threw me off, man. But I don't know if you remember, man. Do you remember who played Mark? It was a goofy guy, and he don't even look like Mark Clark. And they had him on there talking about, you know, NAACP too slow for dead. Right before they come in and do the assassination, you know, they got him playing with the gun. You know, he was doing some little goofy shit. You know, you know what I'm saying? And but that wasn't. And I don't, you know, I know that what the clip you just showed come from somewhere what Hewitt's talking about in his book, but that was nowhere indicative of what, you know, they didn't represent Mark Clark at all. That part kind of pissed me. I'm like, what the fuck does he do? Mark Clark wouldn't be doing that shit when something's, you know, he on security. But anyway, you probably don't remember. But it's a part, and they got Mark Clark, and it's the only part he in, and they got him being loose and all goofy and shit with the weapon. And I was like, that ain't me. Just knowing history, I never met Mark Clark because I wasn't even born when he was assassinated with Chairman Fred. But you know, I just know that how people talk about him, that just don't seem like no shit he was doing. It just don't seem like Mark Clarkish. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, that made me think about that part when they had Mark Clark in there being goofy with the weapon right before they came in to assassinate him and Cherry with the assault from the Chicago police.
Mark Clark, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I know you watched it, but you probably haven't paid. You watch it again, watch that part. It's at the end. But even before that, they had him on there talking. They had him on there introducing himself, and it just sounds cheesy as fuck. I'm like, Mark Clark wasn't just no goddamn ordinary Jaffe Joe, you know. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. You asked me, how I looked at the Kwanzaa thing. Oh, the Tanzania. Let me get back on fuck. The Tanzania, yeah, like with the principles of Ujamaa they use, you know, in Tanzania with the Tanzania revolution to you know, gradually get to a scientific socialist state, you know, in Tanzania, you know, once they got independent from Britain, you know, 1961 with Julius Nyerere at the helm, you know, and so my thing with that is that in Tanzania, to this day, right, to this day, I'm not there, but, you know, I wouldn't mind being there in front, you know, which I like cold weather this time of year, but still, you know, East Africa, it get cool, it's a balanced weather, but, you know, they got nice lake, you know, Lake Tanganyika and all this, very beautiful. But anyway, I know that they still practice these principles right now, but they're not Kwanzaa principles. These principles already existed. Kwanzaa came into existence in 1966. The revolution took part in 1961 as far as the independence aspect. They was fighting in the 50s and won their independence from Britain in 1961. But, you know, all those principles, Ujamaa, Kujichagulia, these are actually things that are influenced or encouraged for the Tanzanian citizens from that point all the way up until now. So this is a culture. This is a way of life, so to speak, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a way of life. It's not nothing that, you know, Tanzania, when it gets a certain time of the year, they start, speaking, talking to each other in a polite, respectable way. This is something that a lot of Tanzanians, because we know people that live there, not only Conrad Elder, Pete O'Neill, and Mama C, but other people as well who stayed there and also who've been there is reporting these things, right? Is reporting a certain level of conscience and a certain level of, of peace when our people there address each other, right? Using the Swahili language and other traditional East African language. They're greeting each other a certain way. They're showing a certain level of respect. They have a code of conduct, right? How people carry themselves. And you have a balance. Of course, you're going to still have corrupt people. You're going to have people in the street, do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Things get out of hand, but as a whole, they practicing these things, right? Ujamaa, cooperative economics, Umoja, unity. These are the things that they're practicing from the Tanzania revolutionary independence era all the way up into now. So my thing with Kwanzaa is that even though we talk about the contradictions, I don't really get into whether I think people should do it or not. Because I think you can get something positive out of it. Because, and the reason I say that, because that's always been my argument, is that the principles of Kwanzaa are not the principles of Kwanzaa. Karenga and others used something that was legitimate in a revolution, the revolutionary formation, a revolutionary culture, and took it and said, yeah, we're going to use these principles to celebrate as opposed to Christmas, right? And that's fine. I'm fine with that. My thing is with that is that we have to start promoting and propagating and encouraging the practice of these principles, which are from our continent in its origin, on an everyday basis in our community. That's when you can make the Kwanzaa seem legitimate, when you do that. But as far as just, okay, we gonna wait till Christmas over, then the next day, you know, Umoja, brother, unity, you know, Habari Gani, da. You know, Kuji Chagalia, Nia Purpose, that, you know, does and so. And that's all fine and dandy. But at this level, I mean, up until now, we haven't seen people encouraged, propagated to practice this on a daily basis. Even though you might hear somebody say it at open mic, it's more than an open mic saying this. We got to push this. Whether it's on YouTube podcast, whether when we know community organizing, we have to push Ujamaa. We want a cooperative economics, Ujima, collective worker responsibility. If we want to push it, Kuji Shagalia, self-determination, there's nothing wrong with these terms. I think that those of us who sympathize or who side with our elder comrades in the original Black Panther Party for self-defense, I think where the problem lies with us is we come from being loyal to them. We're so loyal to them that we be like, man, that bullshit, you know, Mosher and shit, that old culture shit. But in all honesty, this was part of a revolution. Some of us talking shit, I ain't ever been no part of no damn revolution. See what I'm saying? So the principles are legitimate. They are legit. But I don't consider those principles Kwanzaa principles. These are African principles that have been and used right now in the present tense, past and present. So I don't look at those as this is Kwanzaa shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at it like that. Now, would Kwanzaa be okay if people actually incorporated that shit in our community every day? Yes, it would. Of course, we would always have a problem with giving Karenga and the state the credit. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to get to earlier again to talk about it. But I'm not really one to debate and argue about, which I with him and Conrad, we wouldn't be arguing no way. But with other people, it might turn into that. You know, but I'm not one to really do that. When this time of year comes, I'm really opposed to, I'm opposed to getting on platforms and debating and arguing about this shit. And maybe it should be argued. Maybe I'm being liberal. Maybe it should be argued about, right? But the honest thing is, we know and understand is that with our people, the way they think here in America is that they gonna celebrate some shit if they really want to. You can point out the shit out there. You know, you can talk about Karenga, the sexual assault, abuse, of the attack on women during the years, him not denouncing the state's capture of his quote unquote holiday or whatever you want to call it, a replacement for European traditions. You know, him not defending anything that had been said about as far as him collaborating with the FBI and his organization. None of that. You can talk about that all day long and bring out these points and facts and contradictions and opinions. You can bring it out all day long, and some people still gonna do this shit, just like Christmas. You know, these motherfuckers know it ain't no damn Santa Claus coming down, but they still gonna. It's just fun for them. So in this society, whatever makes people feel good at the moment and feel they don't have fun with it, they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest, not saying everybody. You have people who have a certain level of self-accountability, where even if they still might do something to a degree, they still might have a self, you know, they still might accept a criticism about it and move forward with their criticism and look into it. You do have people like that. But a lot of our people, they gonna do that shit regardless. You can talk about Christmas is and what the trees mean, and then why you spending all the money on gifts, why you being so nice on December 21st through the 25th, and then on as soon as the new year comes, you back mad at everybody. Why you doing it? People still gonna do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the fact about it. And if it's something that ties people to the African continent and the African personality, I mean, I don't really want to get in the way of that per se. I don't want to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to really just, you know, because some people be doing the Christmas thing did with Kwanzaa come. Like you see today, a lot of people is posting Happy Kwanzaa, and they got the Kanara, they got their kids wearing cultural shit, you know, and all this stuff, you know. And so I'm not, I mean, I think that's cool, if they want to do that. But, in its totality of what it is, if to me is, if it's not practiced, you know, or encouraged, for us to practice on an everyday basis, then what good is it? What good of practicing African principles if we're gonna be doing this shit like it's a holiday and just do it once, a year for 5, 6 days, 7 days, or whatever, 10 days, whatever. But you're talking about a society that use these principles, right? Use these principles to step into a scientific socialist reality that will keep the community and the nation together. Not no damn utopia, right? Because those who are looking for utopia need to go to heaven somewhere. But a society that can be functional, can be technologically advanced at some level of the, some level, and function without the influences of capitalism, imperialism. So we talking about a society that use principles to do this, as opposed to a society that just uses 7 days a week, and now we got the Canaras, now we got the clothes, now we, Ujima, Habari Gadi, da 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 da. The Swahili language ain't that hard to speak. We could be speaking that shit to our children all the time. Why we got 7 days? That's a traditional language, Why we not using that? And we want to deal with that. So that's my thing about with as far as Kwanzaa. And Karenga is a whole nother thing. I don't even think a lot of people practicing Kwanzaa know anything about Ron Karenga. They don't even know he's still alive as a professor. They don't know what's going on with him. They don't know his history. They don't know any of that. But I ain't gonna tell people, oh man, you come with this bullshit Kwanzaa. I mean, hey, people gonna do these things regardless. It's just our job to give a balanced perspective and point of view and point out what history has shown us about people and their motivation for doing things. And that's what our job is. And when we do that, people can have an avenue where they can make an intelligent decision to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't really just deal with this like this. Or maybe I should look into this more. Maybe I should practice these principles with my children 365 days. Maybe I should do that. And so that's how, I look at it as far as how it relates to the Tanzanian revolution, you know, with the Ujamaa project and, how they being cooperative, like I say, to bring a scientific socialist reality as opposed to us just kind of playing around with stuff. We want to be cultural when it's February, when it's December. It's 2 months. We're gonna be cultural for 7 days in December. We're gonna be cultural during Black History Month in February. But that's in opposition to what's going on in Tanzania, where they practicing it. It's been attempts to practice this every day.
Right on, right on. Interesting take on it. Interesting take on it. Yeah, we appreciate you kind of sharing that. For those who don't know, Tanzania's influence on Kwanzaa, because a lot of guys take kind of some folks take an anti Pan Africanist view of Kwanzaa. I've heard that position stated as well, like a um, ve- um yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to kind of shit on nobody, but yeah, I've heard an anti Pan Africanist perspective to Kwanzaa, and but you would.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, but what you pointed out here, which is I think I've heard this before as being Tanzania actually having an influence as far as the principles of Kwanzaa or something that Malana Karenga or Ron Everett, as you stated, was able to pull from and actually kind of use that to kind of build the foundation for his movement, the US organization in Los Angeles and the other surrounding groups that they had influence part at that time. I think the whole conflict that went on in at UCLA was around the control of uh, the black student unions, and
mm-hmm.
I think what the reason why we know so much about what happened in Los Angeles is because obviously two people lost their life John Huggins and our Prentice Bunchy Carter. But I think that same conflict may, in many ways, have taken places in other parts of the country as well, as it relates to the Black Student Union, as far as influencing the Black Student Union. And just we kind of got a heightened sense of what went on in Los Angeles just because of that situation that occurred with the two brothers losing their life on January 17th, 1969. Um, but yeah, we appreciate that. Now, I think what has favored us, as far as our experiences in GMF, when we say GMF, we're talking about guerrilla mainframe. Uh, Tell us if we're gonna act like folks don't know, ain't never heard of it, and if they haven't, they can look it up. Tell us about guerrilla mainframe, like as far as the history of it, where it was founded, that sort of thing, and kind of take it from that standpoint.
Out of all the videos you got up here about GMF,
Hey, man, look, folks don't
telling
know.
stories all wrong and shit. No. Oh man, yeah, man. We just at that time, at the early stage, we always been influenced, but at the early stages, man, we were young and so gung ho. We didn't give a fuck. I mean, we didn't have families then. That's why, that's why I always tell people, hey, man, pointing to the youth is important. Not because you can get them to go sway any way you want to. It's not like we trying to have child slaves or we trying to use young people to go do something crazy. But the young people are courageous and they're open to universal analysis from all angles. It don't matter what you teach, spirituality, economics, revolutionary principles, whatever you want to build with them on history. They're open. They're ready to be open to it and to their level of where they are right now, which is not quite the same as the younger people back in the day. But to their level, they're ready to look into something and to get involved. And they're courageous. That's why the young people are always gonna have to always be a part. And this, and so society is always, looking to dumb down the youth, this society in particular. And that's a dangerous thing because you got to have young people as a part. You have to have all age groups as a part of your movement. There has to be a balance in the movement.
Keep going. I'm gonna step away for
Principle,
just for 1 second. Keep going. I'm gonna step away for a second.
yeah,
Very brief.
principle unity and organization, strategic organization. You know, and that's why. But at that age, like I said, we didn't have families yet. You know, we had just left formation that we wasn't feeling like that. Certain too many contradictions going on. That was not good for anybody. And so, we was looking to have an aggressive approach to this revolutionary process. And there's all kind of approaches, but there's levels to it regardless. And so, in studying George Jackson, Field Marshal of the Black Panther Party, was September 5th, who assassinated August 1971, August 21st to be exact, who was a political prisoner, but at the same time, his words had so much a profound effect. It was like he wasn't a prisoner. He was, sharp, what I'm saying? He just wasn't on I'm a guerrilla thug, what I'm saying? I'm just talking shit against the state to rile some people up. No, he has a sharp, critical, and analytical analysis of our position at that time in the United States and in the world. And one of the sharpest analysis that you're gonna find, and so, and he was genuine, he wasn't no egotistical, arrogant. A lot of comrades say that they knew Field Marshal personally said he was soft spoken, really. Only time you may see attitude is with him when he dealing with the state, and who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? It's that situation. But otherwise, they say you wouldn't see him just get too riled up as far as his expression. And so he loved his people. So we was intrigued by, the Blood and Mind, the Soledad brothers. And so Excuse me. And so being young ourselves, we like, ooh, this is some sharp shit right here. At least that's what I'm thinking when I was up. That's back when I stayed up to 3 or 4 in the morning on the average. And so I'm looking. I mean, I did. I mean, the nighttime was my shit. I mean, I always have been all my life, but that time, it wasn't enough for me to be reading. Right now, like at this stage, I'm not gonna be reading no goddamn book at past midnight. It might not even be close to midnight. I might listen to an audio book as I'm going to sleep, but reading a book at a certain time, I just ain't at that level yet right now. But at that time, it wouldn't be enough for me to be reading a book at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and highlighting and all kind of shit. And so I'm up studying this, y'all studying it. You say the male Chester, y'all studying this shit too. And we like, man, look at this analysis, analysis, like, how he breaks that, how George mentioned it, hey, this society, the high strappers of this society, the elite, cannot or will not meet our demands. And you think that just that one line right there, you're like, damn, what? Our legitimate demands, what he actually said, And so you saying our legitimate man means the demands we need the most, the shit we need to demand the most. That's the shit that he's saying. This society is just not gonna even meet those. And we all know this. It ain't just because he said it because it's true. He studied and understood this too. And so, I ain't talking about the prison. The prisons are being expanded to, basically to counter the any organization and movements or formations that that challenge the legitimacy of this country, of this establishment. You know what I'm saying? So the prisons have been made they've been made to expand to challenge that, to put a suppression on organization and movement that are genuine, right? So we know this establishment is not genuine. So you think about all this and you study this and you like, yeah, you like, man, it's crazy how, this is what this is. And him talking about anytime the status quo fails, you have a violent, you have violence that precedes that process. You know what I'm saying? Violence is coming next when the status quo fails. And it might be through biological, chemical warfare too. I want all our people to realize that too. We think that we don't have suppressive measures or fascist measures in the United States because, they're not necessarily coming into our home and kill us in the morning, even though I mentioned to you that they would have liked to have got a reaction out of Rakem so they can kill him early in the morning like they did Chairman Fred. Because you don't come 50 deep for no fucking reason. Now in the hood, we might come 50 deep to shoot the shit on some bullshit, some self-hatred. But this establishment, when they come 50 deep anywhere, they are looking for a particular result. And they got an A, B, and C now. Don't get me wrong. A, get a reaction, murder this motherfucker, end of question. End of story. B, detain this motherfucker. C, assassinate their character and isolate them from the community. That's their strategy when they dealing with, political activists, organizers who got certain kind of influence. And so, but just because they not doing either one of those things don't mean they're not doing anything. You got biological, chemical warfare happening all the time. Then you have environmental issues. These things are purposeful. They don't give a damn. So, when like I say, when the status quo fail, violent acts precede that. And so we're reading all this thing. We like, man, look here. We need an aggressive approach. We need an underground and we need above ground to do our thing. We need to organize, amongst the masses, but we need to keep it tight knit, right? We wasn't necessarily trying to be a mass organization per se. We want to be, of course, connected. You got to be connected with the masses and, respect the mass line, and you got to, propagate, revolutionary principles and collective unity and things like that. But we were more cadre, and I think to this day we are like that. Is that we want to make an analysis on choosing who we bring into the fold, even though we brought people into the fold that didn't fit. That's our, you know, that's a good criticism of ourselves that we brought some people to the fold. But to our credit, speaking of GMF, to our credit, the people we brought into the fold, they may have did some contradictory stuff, but we did make them go through the process. A lot of people, all you gotta do is give them some money. They'll see your patch, or if you, you know, you just say you want to, you know, they want to be a part of your organization. You know, they come down to where you are, or you go where they are. You shake a few hands, and you know, you do a lunch giveaway, and now they your member. But we never operated like that. We was influenced by George to like, hey, to take your time with it. You see who best fits, who in the masses best represents this formation, right? Who gonna best fit to serve in the way that you were doing, right? And I think that influenced us too, because we knew, especially at that time, you know, I always, you know, kid around with these damn new organizers, which is really the truth. I don't, you know, hold back, but you know, I don't want to get too, you know, but you know, I always keep with these new organizers that we always tell them that back when we started GMF, wasn't nobody in Dallas trying to be radical, except for the few organizations that we work with. There was a radical, radical collective, but it was a small group of organizations. Everybody else was not trying to be radical at all. They weren't trying to do no community patrols. They weren't trying to learn about self-defense. They weren't trying to reach for more legitimate demands on a people's behalf to the status quo. They weren't trying to challenge the status quo to a certain level. They weren't trying to do none of that. You see what I'm saying? And so we already knew we had to say, okay, look, we're going to get certain people. And when you get in here, these are the revolutionary principles we're dealing with. You know, and George encouraged that, you know, not just the Black Panther Party, but him in specific encouraged us to do that, you know, because he spoke pretty aggressively and blood in my eye, you know, with great reason for, you know, that he did do that. But that encouraged us to be tight-knit because of the type of politics we were pushing. And we know all the way to this day that everybody can't get with that. Everybody can't get with the politics. You know, many, you know, and one time people tried to, you know, play this, everybody got a lane. And it is true, everybody have their lane. But I once told somebody, you know, directly that, hey, we don't have no goddamn lane. We do got a lane, but you ain't gonna give us the goddamn lane. We give it to ourselves. You know, and that lane was whatever it takes to get the people educated and organized. That was our lane. It didn't have nothing to do, oh, y'all just a defense group. No, we ain't no goddamn defense group. We train. I mean, I've been wanting to use so much language on this thing. I need to start acting like a preacher.
Go ahead, hang your business.
Oh, look at you. You encouraging this. Is that what George taught us? No, I'm just playing. But no, I'll be willing to say, look, man, you know, we train because we don't want to get our ass kicked, right? You know, it's too many people to be throwing, man, that none, all this shit don't work. We always begging, da-da-da-da-da. Well, if you ever get your ass out there, you're going to be nonviolent too, because soon as they come towards your ass, because you don't have no methods of knowledge of self-defense, your ass going to fold up, you're going to be nonviolent too. Or you just not going to have your ass out there, which a lot of people did. Talk from behind the scenes and never got active amongst the people, except to share some conscious t-shirts or whatever, t-shirts with conscious statements on them and shit, but and other than that, they didn't want to do nothing. But no, we even had, it wasn't just self-defense. We had classes on how riot control classes, or rebellion control class. Like how do, like, groups that dealt with us who would be doing protests or rallies that wasn't necessarily, that was kind of, non-violent, and so to speak, or wasn't as, high strung or whatever, well, to a certain level of rage or whatever. We would show them how to protect themselves, even with being non-violent. You see what I'm saying? We had classes, and these I'm telling you, these were excellent classes, how to show, to show people how to stand together. Even when you're being not the aggressor and the state is being the aggressor, how to protect everybody. Instead of saying, oh, since we non-violent, come on over here and hit me in the head. And you got a motherfucking mama who just had a little baby, she getting hit in the goddamn head. No, it's ways to do this without you being the aggressor. Let's show you how to do it. Let's show you how to pull a person out of a goddamn, away from a member of the state, police or somebody. Let's show you how to pull away from them easily without even looking like it's resistance. But it really is resistance, but it's not anything they can charge you for. Let's show you how to do that. We had these sort of things going on. But like I say, for groups who wasn't as rebellious and knew that they were going to be in a more non-violent resistance sector, but it was more than just that. So people tried to put us into this gun carrying, machos, militant. Those are security guys. We know security guys. We know some goddamn. What you talking? When we go somewhere, we are security because we are taking charge of our post and our property in view. That's why. They ain't got nothing to do with we a security group. We secure each other. You better secure your goddamn self. Shit. That's why. We, what I'm saying? But it wasn't, and we did security class when Rain was, part of the organization. You know what I'm saying? He showed certain security measures, how to protect people in the chain of command, how to protect the average person. You know what I'm saying? Because the way our organizations always work, we wasn't to protect one person, but we know how to protect everybody. And so he taught all these strategies on how to protect, how to do security and stuff like that. And so, these are effective things. But people who not really thinking on a self-determining, a Kuji Chagalia mindset, the one that's out on Kwanzaa every year, they don't have a Kuji Chagalia mindset. Because if you have a self-determining mindset, you know that you have to protect your interests of the people. What is the interest of the people? Our collective economic projects that bring stability in the community. Our cooperatives, agriculture, farming, whatever projects that we have. You starting out as community going, they might move up to agriculture programs. You see what I'm saying? The youth, we gotta protect the youth, protect the women who may be activists or organizers. Protecting our collective work that we're striving to make our community better by doing. That is the part of self-determination. You see what I'm saying? And so people don't understand you need those skills to be able to protect the interests of the people. But it wasn't about just a security. No, what are you talking about? If we go to an event, you think we just gonna do security? We gonna have Chairman Erick on the panel because he might know what he's talking about more than a lot of people. We might have Yafeuh over there. We may want to have one of the sisters on there, on that goddamn panel. And so but being, people try to put us into that box, but I try, my best to anyway to. I always assure that we ain't got no goddamn security. We put more services and programs in the community than a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? And we extending our hand to other groups. Those who didn't want to participate in GMF, okay, we got the Food, Clothes, and Shelter Solidarity Committee. For us all to take care of the mutual aid of our community and participate without having to go through Rakem. If you didn't want Rakem slamming you on the ground in the dirt, or you didn't want, Rain or Jay Borgins or somebody to, show you a move where you rolling around and, you might have to parry some punches or you might have to counter, get yourself dirty or get yourself, get some blood showing. If you didn't want to do that, or you didn't want to learn about weapons, how to use a karambit, if you didn't want to learn that, we got this over here for you. She was still show solidarity with us. So we created avenues for people to form unity. And not just get on the microphone at an open mic night and talking a whole bunch of, we gotta have unity, what I'm saying, and all this old stuff, and without taking the process, taking the foot forward to make it happen. And so, but we have plenty of programs, each one teach one. Youth educational program, Food, Clothes, Shelter Solidarity Committee. We had a lot of, different services. We was a part of the George Ash University, and so we had all kinds. We had a newsletter, going, you know. That's how people find out about Donald Main Jr. was our newsletter. They didn't know this shit. They didn't know that, you know, Brian Cloninger, 40-something-year-old white pedophile and rapist, coming into our community to, you know, looking like a dope fiend and people not paying attention to him, but he's trying to kidnap a young black boy and actually shot him. And we kept up with the family and Donald Main Jr. to encourage him and other youth in the community to stand their ground and to feel, you know, to try to make them feel more safe than what they were. You know, because we put that out there. And this wasn't in the community we were just close to, but we extended our hand. You know what I'm saying? And so that's some of the things that we were about, you know, and that, to us, that was a guerrilla mindset. The guerrilla mindset is to adapt and adjust and to do what's necessary at that time. That's a guerrilla mindset. Guerrilla mindset not textbook all the time. You know, I think other groups that we work with wanted us to be so textbook. Well, brother, this is the Black Power way. You know, this is the Black love way, or whatever. You know, whoever influenced them. You know, scholars, different scholars, and people in the community may influence them. YouTube scholars, as well as real legitimate scholars, may influence them. But you know, they want, you know, this by the book, man. Gorillas, we do what we got. Look here, man. We go in and we come out. We do our thing. We go into a community influence and come back out. And, hey, and then we on to the next thing. We moving all across Pleasant Grove, North Dallas, Oak Cliff, South Dallas. You know, we been in South Dallas for what, 3 or 4 years? Oak Cliff, we started off at Pleasant Grove. We not even from Pleasant Grove. You know what I'm saying? But we started that, you know, patrolling and doing the health education, People's Lunch Counter in Pleasant Grove. The Dream Center, we had young folks in that Dream Center looking at documentaries they never saw, information they never saw in their life. Had field days, everybody in the community get involved in the field day, promoting physical health, you know what I'm saying? Between the parents and the kids, getting them involved in something, taking them away from the video game and well, they didn't have the tablet, that shit was not then. Your phone wasn't doing nothing back then with texting.
Sure
You know,
what.
everybody thought the Blackberries was the shit a few years later, but that wasn't nothing compared to what we got now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, but to keep them away from just looking at, you know, TV all the time and things of that nature and getting into some petty criminal activity, we did these activities for them and we made it educational. You know, we did a whole bunch of health screening for different things. And so we continued that process. You know, health education, we were big on that. That's how we started out. You know, and so, you know, those are things about some of the things about what we did. We had youth in our organization. When I say youth, I'm talking about 15, 14, 15, 16-year-olds in our organization. You know what I'm saying? Who their siblings or their parents wasn't even in our organization, but they supported them learning from us directly. You know what I'm saying? And now we see them as adults. We building with them now. They got the same respect for us as they had then. And they're doing positive things. And so we do that. And so, like I say, when you're talking about the guerrilla influence, it ain't just no, you know, oh, we got the guns and the whip. Back when we started pulling out weapons, it was necessary, and it still is. But because people done plagiarized it so much and made it by some, you know, some damn show, some ego, you know, it kind of have downplayed the significance of community patrols. We still need community patrols. See? But we been influenced by the slave mindset, and the slave master is not legitimate unless it's him. I tell people all the time, I say, you know, a lot of these police, they got drug abuse problems and everything. Oh, what? Yeah. But you trust them with a weapon in your community, but you see me in for some fatigue or with a regular clothes on, and you want to spew some Dr. King, but you know he was non-violent, like he my daddy or something. Which Dr. King owned weapons his goddamn self. People may not know, and actually had was very close to having some physical confrontation with some white racists too. The people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but they don't know. They just know what the slave master and the media tell them, and so they come at us with that stuff. Not to say that people disagree, because we patrolled a few times in the community and shit. It was elders like, man, I'm so glad to see y'all out here, male and female elders. You know what I'm saying? 60, 70, 80 years old. Like, I'm glad to see y'all and what y'all doing. You're keeping the young folks out of trouble. You know, of course, we give them brochures or something like that. You know, they can understand what's going on from reading and, observation, and also, reading about what we done did. And so, they liking that stuff. But these are everyday things. We was doing this stuff. This wasn't nothing, and then later on, it became a highlight of what we did, highlighting, the police, anti-police terrorist movements, and so, anyway, I done went on and on, but,
No,
but
you
yeah.
good. You good.
I'm sounding like Farrakhan and Saviors. They going to
Hey,
next thing you know, it's gonna be goddamn. It's gonna be the 5th album. I'm wrapping up. I'm wrapping.
yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, those are some things that we were encouraged by the elders to do. You know what I'm saying, to make these things happen. So for anybody who want to put us in a box, go ahead and try. I can go from we can go from youth mentorship to health education. We got health education professors right now. My wife was a director of health at one point, educating, doing not only health screenings, actually directing, actually doing follow-up calls with elders and people in the community to check on their health, to give them alternative health measures that they can use in their daily lives. We got Sister Tashir Meehan doing it. They got health organization and place in Arlington. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing, encourage people to detox their body, educate themselves on health, besides besides what the status quo is told you to do. You know what I'm saying? To take health personally and internalize the principles of health, as given to us by the divine creator and the universal truths. And so, these things, we can go from this to whatever you want to go to. And GMF is part in it. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling the truth. Whatever phase you want to go to, we've been a part of it, and not because we was trying to take it over and be egotistical with it, but because we always knew that all these avenues in our community are just as important as the other. We don't take one and say, oh, no, brother, you ain't on no self-defense shit, you a punk. Or you don't want to learn martial arts, you a punk. Or, if you don't want to, fight against police terrorism, you ain't shit. We never did that. Whatever avenue you want us to work with, we'll do it. If it's not compromising our revolutionary principle. If it's compromising them, then we'll tell you, we'll see you at a later date. But if it's not compromising that, what you want to do? And that's always been our history. And Rakem is as tough as people see him. He one of the first people that'll jump and go unify with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't like we got to convince him. Yeah, Rakem, what you want to do, man? I pity the fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like he on that type of shit. He be like, yeah, what? Yeah, I'll call him. When I get out work, I'll call him, and he'll do it. He'll call him and call us. When we meet. Hey, man, I talked to such and such of the what you call club or whatever, and they want to see if they can come through on Saturday and build with us about collaborating, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we hook it up, But yeah, man, that's part of our story. That we ain't never been in no box. We understand all levels of struggle. That's why we, always supported, our dear ancestor and comrade Bubba Chuck Way Lumumba. That's why we always supported that. You know what I'm saying? We brought Rukia down here. She gave a powerful little message. I ain't gonna say little message. She gave a powerful message when she came down here. You know what I'm saying? And she came down here to promote Chugwe Antor and to talk about their father's legacy in the new African, revolutionary movement, but and politics. But we had her up there, and Rukia rocked that mic. Some people came to me afterwards like, man, that lady just as fire as her father, man. Damn, I didn't know she was coming like that. So, we always show love to all avenues of our movement, and that's GMF legacy. People may not want to admit it. I don't care, if they do or not. That's just the truth, man. And yeah, that's how we do. That ain't our history. Yeah, she running for office. Go vote for her. Go vote for. Well, I ain't voting is over, but you know what I mean. Support.
Yes.
It's over with. But if you ain't done the shit already, because we always talk about who gonna represent us. We have people that's gonna represent us. It's not a lot of us represent us in political office, but we're getting more people in that arena right now, and it does best for us to support those who we know gonna represent the platform of the African working class, instead of some motherfucking Tom, Dick, and Harry who's been shining shoes for the past 12 years coming into my, well, I'm a Democrat, so you should love me and all this old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Getting our goddamn affiliation with their ass off of face value, and they ain't earned a goddamn thing because they never do. But this is a person who have earned something. She was in New York, shit, living, doing what she do. She came down to Mississippi, just like her father. Dealing with competitive projects, dealing with competitive economics, and trying to bring some kind of stability to Mississippi because the state is sabotaging it as we speak. And things of that nature while denying resources, denying to put resources in their own damn state, and specifically in the city of Jackson, because they don't want people to say they succeeded in building a power base. They don't want that. So they want Chuck Antoine and all the organizers down there to fail. This is the state of Mississippi. They want Jackson to fail. But they don't want Jackson to fail because it's some illegitimacy there. They want Jackson to fail because the potential of real legitimacy and cooperation, collective cooperation there. That's what they don't want to happen. And so yeah, you no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But what else you got?
Can you hear me? We kind of breaking up a little bit.
Oh no, I agree.
Just a little bit. You can hear me? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it broke
Mm-hmm.
up a little bit, but nah, I was just kind of following you along.
Yeah.
Best I could. I think you said some good things, historical. Some of the things you said sort of kind of backed up, what I've said previously.
Yeah.
And I noticed, the reason why I promote these types of conversations, believe it or not, and I know that sometimes they could appear to come across to be redundant if somebody's really following along, is because
Right,
I'm gonna say
right.
some things that you may remember or may not remember, and I may jog your memory, and you like may say some things that I may not remember. Like you mentioned, talking about Jay Boykins, like just things like that. Some things that probably went past me. One thing I can remember about dealing with Donald Mayton Jr. I just remember because I was a part of it with Chief. Was I remember and I talked about it in the episode of Donald Mayton. Is I remember we rode the bus, like the city bus, over to Donald Mayton's grandmother's house, or the house that he lived in at the time, in an
Right.
apartment complex in North Dallas. And I remember Chief influenced me to do that, and I probably wouldn't have done that without Chief, or I should say Rakem Balogun. And I remember us not knowing exactly where he was at within the apartment complex, and we kind of had to go door to door and ask folks where was the little boy, people that had got shot by the deranged white male. You know what I mean? We had to do it like that. We had to knock on about 7 or 8 doors, and then somebody told us, "Hey, they live over there." And then we kind of narrowed down where it was, and then we finally knocked on the door. And
Yeah, yeah.
believe it or not, they didn't know us from Tom, Dick, or Harry, but they let us in, and they let us in, and and just so I can kind of if you can give me a second, I really want to share that. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Donald. Let's see. Made. Ew. Look at that. This is I wouldn't even intend on finding this. Can you see that picture?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This was us years ago. This is me right here. You can see my screen and all that type of stuff. That's Rakim. That's Jay Boykins, Stu Becker, um, and different kids in the community. But this where's DJ at? That's DJ right here in the middle, right here. And basically, you see DJ's his face is sort of swollen, so we was kind of dealing with DJ right then. I think is that his grandfather, I believe, down here in the yellow. I think that's DJ's grandfather. I'm not sure. I forgot.
Oh, I can't see
Uh,
him.
can you see?
I can
Let me
see
see.
some of the pictures. I can't see the one with him in it.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't. You don't. You're not looking at the one. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm saying the one you saying is a grandpa. I don't even see one. It could be.
Hold on, real quick. No. Hold on, real quick. Let me go back to it real quick. Let me come back. You can't see. You can't see that real quick. Hold on.
But it probably was him. His grandpa. He was pretty close.
Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see. I really want to share this. Yeah. This is the one I was talking about right here. You see that?
Yeah. Oh, okay, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me make it bigger there.
Oh, yeah, that was a good. Yeah, that was a beautiful day right there.
Yeah. So that's DJ right here in the center. Afro Betty, Rakim, kids in the neighborhood right here, probably his family. Jay Boykins, myself. We was there that day. And basically we was kind of doing what Chairman Erick was talking about, which is like a food clothing shelter. Um, yeah, we was doing like a food clothes and shelter sort of thing uh, at this particular day. But we got all the neighborhood and kids together. We was inside the apartment here, and we kind of used the apartment as a staging ground to kind of do food and play games and that kind of stuff. And so that's mainly what we were trying to do at that particular time. We're just
Yeah,
trying to be
we had a lot of educational material then. Education material that was educational and fun and all at the same time, and that they were learning from that they might not have gotten during the Christmas holiday.
right.
So that's what we had a lot of that material that day too.
You remember that?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Right. This is what probably just so y'all know the time frame that we talking about. We talking about this is like 2013, maybe even before that. But I think 2012,
Nah, it's about
2013,
13. Yeah. Mhm.
something like that. See, it was in January. But this is the page right here that somebody was administrator over. We were. That's why we got this as the background. But justice for DJ Donald Mayton Jr. I know I was on another page. I was the administrator of it as well. But yeah, this is history right here. This is what we partly what we want to really discuss, kind of connect the dots as far as how we came into existence, how we formed up, and how we became like really strong community based group. And I don't think it get no more strong community based than this right here. I mean, y'all can look at it. Like we've always. There's another photo. Let me see if I can share it on my page here. Let me back out of this. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Give me a second here. Let me see. There's another photo that really stick out to me, kind of like that. You see, we got that watermelon. Remember, you saw me eat that watermelon. I don't know if you saw that watermelon on that table on that other page. You
No,
always
they
been about
probably
that.
ain't eating nothing.
Let me see. Where's that? Where's that photo at? One of my favorite photos, man. Let me see. Let me go back. It be on my
Yeah, also the Move organization in Philadelphia too. They influenced us, encouraged us too. Of course, we still show love and solidarity with them today. We done had, Mama Pam and my Ramona Africa. They was at some story house chilling. You know what I'm saying? Coming to do their thing. We had on panels and but they encouraged us too. With the resistance. With their lifestyle, with the way their way of life, and how close knit they are, but they have a principle about themselves that's that's undying and is so resistant to the outside forces. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how we wanted ourselves to be. We want us to have a community family and our direct family to be as strong and as resilient as the Move family. So they inspired us as well on how we move.
You remember this? I don't know if you. Well, I don't remember if you remember this particular photo. I don't know if he was there that day or not, but
Yeah, that's
there's
over there
another.
right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See the neighborhood kids here. We got Buddha, Uhuru Balogun, Robert Taylor. Um,
Yeah, that's the old, it used to be the Oasis right there,
yeah, that's Oasis.
where they changed the name
Hey,
a few
got
times. Since.
got Heyru, got Rakim, Kamal. You know what I'm saying? I know Rain was there. He didn't take a photo. You got Dara, Bud Shout. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mainly, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we've been all about right here. You see Dara, he'll say the good old days. Boy, I tell you, sometimes I wish I can go back.
Yeah,
Hell,
man. Yeah, everybody says everybody. Bobby Seale says seize
hey,
the time. When you got that time and you got other core people, supporters or whoever involved, man,
mhm,
shit, get all that you can out of them, man. Because
yeah, yeah.
people come and people go.
People come, people go. But I do want to tell you that I do want to tell you one more thing before we let them burn off real quick. That that as you can see here, that's still going on today, right here. This was a few days ago in the Pinks. Uh, and you see folks kind of lined up, they kind of overwhelmed us a bit here. So you don't see it as probably we had so much stuff. We probably had about 8 tables, and we kind of put it together, kind of funny here. But as you can see, we still out here in this community. This is in Highland Hills in the Pinks.
Now, what we
Um,
gonna call them now? Because they not pink now, they blue. We gonna call them the blues.
well, that's what the community call them, so it's up to them. Um,
What they call? They still call them that?
yeah,
Oh, they do. They paint them blue. I said they could have just left it what it was.
uh,
But yeah,
yeah. So you see the community out here in the Pinks, still out here with this work. Thankful for this family that helped put this together and work with us, and we made sure that just in case of folks, I don't celebrate Christmas at all. I don't do any of that, but I am willing to uh, put a smile on the kid face and kind of ease some of the stress of some of these parents that do believe and do follow that kind of that culture. And really, my hope and my desire, if I may say so preemptively, is to sort of like what Kwanzaa is intended to do is to kind of put something in place so that we don't have to spend our last dollars towards the end of the year trying to stress ourselves out further. You know,
yeah.
but anyway, so I just wanted to show folks this is what's going on now. So we kind of showed you what's going on. We showed you what's going on 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. That was in North Dallas with Donald Maiden. Then we showed you 5 years ago was what happened in Oak Cliff, or as Chairman Erick said, the Oasis. And then here we are showing you what happened 4 days ago. Look, the December 23rd. You know what I'm saying? You know the day. What's the day? December 26th. So you know what I'm saying? This is
That's
just
right.
3 days.
Umoja, brother. What you talking about? Umoja.
So we still at it. We still at it, trying to be positive.
Yeah.
Long live the revolutionaries. You got any closing thoughts or anything of that nature?
Nah, I said too much. Like I said, I could be like Farrakhan saying that. In my conclusion, and 3 hours later, he's still doing his conclusion. But nah, man, shit. Till the next time.
All right, all right. Well,
On to the people.
if y'all could do us do be a big favor, like, share, subscribe. I didn't say that at first, but I'm gonna say it now. Kind of late in the game, but like, share, subscribe. You see my Facebook. If you want to hit me up on the Facebook, you definitely can. Catch my attention. I'll communicate with you. If you want to support the efforts that we're doing, you can on Cash App. You can $ CMB Dallas Charlie Mike Bravo Delta Alpha Lima Lima Alpha Sierra. Um, you can send us a donation. We're gonna make these things happen. Matter of fact, we're gonna be out there again in about 3 more days in the pinks, giving out pampers and some more of these toys. You know what I mean, for kids or whatnot. So we're gonna be out there again in 3 days. I will share the information on this YouTube just so folks can stay abreast of what we're doing. We want to make sure that folks are aware of what's going on and knowing how they can support because we definitely in the community and we just really always been wanting to just really just do our small part. You know what I'm saying? And we know other folks doing their part wherever they at too. So that's all it is to it. But like, share, subscribe. This has been Yafeuh Balogun, street reporter. Also, I don't want to fail to mention uh, in the description of this YouTube, I did put on how to reach out and write Rakem Balogun. If you want to write Rakem Balogun, the brother I kind of showed in the slide a few moments ago, he's our close comrade. If he was out, he'd probably be on here at least once or twice as well. Feel free to write him, reach out to him, put a letter to him. Rakim Balogun, he's locked up, I believe, in Commerce, Texas. No, is it Commerce? No, it's at Coffield, my Coffield
Go
unit
for
in
it.
yeah, Coffield unit in Texas. Feel free to write him. He definitely appreciate it. He'll shoot you something back. Um, but we out here, y'all. Don't say nobody ain't out here because we out here. CMB Dallas, hit us up, and that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Peace, power, and prosperity.